Hey guys, well it's 10:15 a.m. in the UK on New Year's Eve, and I'd just like to wish all my friends in New Zealand and Australia who will be celebrating New Year's Eve or New Year's Day in the next couple of hours a very, very, very happy New Year, and I wish you all the best. For all the other guys, well, it's been a heck of a year. There's too much to mention, too much to talk about, but it has been one hell of a year. And I thought 2010 was good. 2011 was even better, and I do believe that 2012 will even be better with that. From that, there's so much happening in 2012. We have the Torbay Dementia Action Alliance. We also have the Alzheimer's International Conference in London. Hi Mark, hope to meet you. And you, Laurie, and Richard as well, I hope, and Laurie LeBay. And I'm also going to a major conference in May in Gloucester, which I'm looking forward to. But the one thing I'd like to talk about today is how I've noticed last year, excuse me, how I've noticed last year that things have changed slightly and changed for the better. There seems to have been a shift towards the betterment and the attitudes towards dementia. And people are talking about it more. I blogged about how my family talked about it on Christmas Day, and I'm sure that other people are talking about it as well. Um, I really do believe that move is coming quicker and that shift is coming bigger. And I think 2012 will be a huge year for people, not only with dementia, but people who look after people with dementia, because we must never, ever forget the family, the carers, the unpaid carers, as well as the paid carers, but the unpaid carers that do it out of love and honesty and out of dedication for the people that they love. And they do it without a blink of an eye, and they do it without thinking. And that kind of dedication is the greatest dedication of all in life. That I have no doubt. People who are paid for caring also have massive dedication as well. This is not by any way saying that they don't have the same. But the people who do it for nothing, the people who do it for love, are those that we should also think about in the 2012. And one of my ideas is I do believe that by bringing together not only the carers, but the people with dementia, and getting them both to speak, both to have a voice. I read a post in one of our posts not long ago where somebody actually mentioned that we should be concentrating more on the carers, because the people with dementia don't have that much to say, or they're usually that far down the line. As you can imagine, I had quite a bit to say about that. But I just like to say that for those people who do think like that, please remember that dementia doesn't come on overnight. It's not there one minute and suddenly there the minute after or the day after. It's a gradual decline and a degeneration of the brain, and it happens over months or even years. It's knowing the signs at the beginning. Nobody just gets dementia. There's early warning signs. There's early signs of forgetfulness. There's early signs of confusion. There's early signs of stumbling, spatial awareness. There's so much to look out for. Dementia just doesn't happen. There's lots of guys out there, just like me, who can do this kind of thing. I know some very good friends of mine who do this kind of thing. It's not just me. And they do a wonderful job. And I'm sure there's other people. And I'm sure that if more people got to grips with the early diagnosis of this disease and started to be aware of early signs and early diagnosis, then people who still have the capabilities would be able to have their view on things. They will be able to have their view on what they want. They will be able to try and take in the inevitable if there is not a cure, of which I am convinced there will be quite soon. But at least they'll be able to prepare, and at least they'll be able to spend some wonderful times with their family and friends, just like I have. They will lose some friends. You will lose some friends. I've lost some friends. Not only mortally, but I lost some friends when I was first diagnosed. 70% of my alleged friends never got in touch since. I know it's a sad fact of the disease, but that's the reality of it. But the people who you meet after, the people who listen to you, the people who look after you, and the other people who are with you all the way in this campaign to raise awareness and get rid of the stigma that attaches itself to this disease, they will become your real friends. I have made some wonderful friends, not only in the real life, as I call it, but on the internet and in the cyber world. Some friends I have never even met, but I will trust with my life, because I know they all want the same thing. So I think 2012 should be about early diagnosis. I think it should be about spotting the signs, and it should be about giving those people who have just been diagnosed a voice if they choose to have one, because at the end of the day, it's all, I choose to do this. I choose to put my head above the parapet. I choose to shout and scream until I make a difference. Some people don't want to do that, which is fully understandable, but they still need help. They still need support, and they still need love. Whether you're loud and proud, like me, or you're quiet and succumbed, like some, they still need all that love. As for my future, well, I have got a future. You know I have. I'm totally convinced that they will find a cure for this one day. And as you know, in every email I'll send out next year, my tagline to all the professionals out there will be, help you, help us to help you. Because if we concentrate on early diagnosis, and we concentrate on seeing the signs, and we concentrate on helping those people come to terms with what is, let's make no mistake, at the moment, is a terminal disease. What we want is support. What we want is the memory clinics, more memory clinics. What we want is follow-up after you've been diagnosed, not just, hey, you've got dementia, that's it, bye. You want to say, right, I'll give you 2 weeks, and then come back and see me, make an appointment. And then there's also a support worker out there, and there's also community psychiatric nurse, or CPN as they call them. And we need signposting, as they say in the professional field. In other words, we need telling what's out there. We need explaining, because it's not something to be ashamed of. 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's type, early onset. As you know, a few weeks ago, that was changed as I was misdiagnosed. And I've been diagnosed now with Lewy body type, which was another crushing blow. But regardless what type it is, I'm going to fight this and fight it as hard as I can. And I know I can beat it because of my family that's around me and my wonderful friends. And I urge you to give all those out there who think they may have a diagnosis, get them to the doctors. Or if they don't want to go to the doctors, it's purely choice. Give them all the love and support you need. But please remember that there is support out there. You don't have to do it on your own. And there is nothing ashamed of asking for help when it comes to this. People still say to me, are you frightened of having Alzheimer's? Are you frightened of having dementia or Lewy bodies? And I'll say, yes, I'm absolutely petrified. I wouldn't be human if I weren't. And then people say, well, am I ashamed of it? Not one bit. Not one bit. You wouldn't be ashamed of heart failure. You wouldn't be ashamed of cancer. So why should I be ashamed of this? So why does it have the stigma? Because of others' preconceptions and the way that people view it. But hopefully in 2012, I will be talking to people, more people, and saying, am I the person that you want to speak to? Those are the people like me out there with dementia who would love to put your minds at rest and to try and blow away all the cobwebs and blow away all the bad things and thoughts that you thought dementia was. I'm not saying it doesn't get really tough in the later stages. We know it does. I lost my father and I lost my grandmother to Alzheimer's, so I know what the end result is, and there's not a cure found. But I really do believe that if we have an early diagnosis and people put the house in order and people know what's going to happen and people know that every minute, every day, every month, every year is precious and spent with their family, then I'm sure that they will not only feel better, but they will enjoy a better quality of life, because that's what it's all about, quality of life. So, that's 2012. We've got so much to look forward to, my friends. So on behalf of Elaine, my ever-growing family, with more news to come on that, to be honest with you, but tell you next year. And everybody here in Torquay, I would just like to say have a very, very happy new year, a safe new year, and as I always put on my blogs and writings, onwards and upwards. This year, next year rather, 2012, whichever year, I'm trying to remember what year it is at times, but 2012 is going to be a great one. Of that I am absolutely sure. And with all you guys on my side, and with us all stood together as one, I am sure that this is the year that we're going to crack it, and this is the year we are going to make that difference. Okay, so I'll speak to you in January. Have a very, very happy new year. Stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay friends. Okay guys, see you soon. Bye.